best way to make money working from home is not by posting on social media like what most people actually think it is. Now, not.
¿Sabes por qué todo el mundo está hablando de Forex? Es sencillo. Es el mercado más grande del mundo. Mueve 6 trillones de dólares cada día. O sea, literalmente cada 24 horas el mercado de Forex está moviendo 6 trillones de dólares. Imagínate 6 trillones de dólares en tu casa. Yo creo que no cabe. Literalmente no cabe. En la mía no caben. Yo no creo que en la tuya quepan, a menos que tengan una mansión de este tamaño. Forex es el mercado más grande del mundo. Más dinero circula en el mercado de Forex en 3 días de lo que circula en toda la economía estadounidense en un año. Forex es la razón por la que millones de personas en este planeta Tierra han logrado la libertad económica y la razón por la que yo puedo.
Warning. The following video features stunts performed either by professionals or under the supervision of professionals. Accordingly, Boosie Badass and the producers must insist that no one attempt to recreate or reenact any stunt or activity they see performed in this video. Period.
Nah, for real, I really won't fuck around. Real shit. I don't know. Hey, real shit. I be playing, but I won't fuck around. Yo. Hey, let me get some back on it. You want these punk ass rap. You can't rap. How you gonna tell me you a goddamn rapper?
Shout out to everybody in the chat. What's up, Dana? What's up, Miss Lady T? Nene. I was just about to shoot out some links because y'all know I don't get on this page much, but they got me in YouTube jail, y'all. I didn't even know they had a YouTube jail. They playing out here. Let me wait a few more minutes, see if a few more people slide through. If not, they'll catch the replay. I'm sorry.
She got you, bro.
I forgot what I was doing. Like, I'm finna tell her where I got hemorrhoids. It's a game breaker. Real shit.
Have y'all noticed, or is it just me? Every time there's some paperwork dropping, these people on this internet get to showing out. Is it just me? And the reason, if you ask me, if you observe everything they come out here saying, it just seems obvious that they trying to get the exclusive on. They trying to be the one to break the news. The problem is people like me are not chasing the information first. We just trying to be accurate. So when people like them come out here and get to sticking their foot in their mouth, and then when people like me sit here and watch all of it play out, it's just funny how YouTube allows these individuals to report your videos, have your videos removed. Meanwhile, we as Robert Kelly supporters have witnessed the most slanderous, the most crazy things being said about this man, and we don't see those videos being taken down. We don't see Tasha K's video, for example, being taken down when she's slandering everybody else, to the point of why wasn't her shit taken down with Cardi B? Why did it have to take this lawsuit to get it taken down? But no, people like me, we got to deal with the bullshit ass reports when we're just trying to put out content that makes you think. So how can that be interpreted as harassment and or bullying when everybody that has been following me can pretty much testify to the fact that it's been a whole lot of bullying and harassment going on towards me? I just respond. And what's funny is I don't even address the individual. I just address the bullshit that's going on by reminding people what they did on these public platforms. But unfortunately, some people don't like to admit what they did. They like to get on these YouTube streets and get to pointing the fingers and lying and shit. And I get caught in the middle. But I tell you what, we're going to get on the same page today because I got a little time. Because I'm tired of the back and forth. And I'm tired of the slow-ass people trying to interpret what I'm saying. And because they automatically assume that it's a negative when they see their stupid-ass behavior patterns reappearing in my content, instead of realizing maybe they should change the things that they're doing and or find other methods to get their scam on, you wouldn't have issues with my content, right or wrong. You don't see me calling out nobody. You don't see me picking at nobody. You don't even see me on nobody but one specific person, Dana's platform. So tell me, what's the problem? What's the problem? If all these people come out here and for 3 years they tell you that Dana J is the problem, meanwhile, the one person who stick to herself, who mind her mother freaking business, who just sticks to what shows up in the paperwork, who avoids certain topics that other people continuously lie about, you know what? We just gonna replay the video that I posted earlier, and maybe we can figure out together what's harassing about this video. Because, like I said, I got a strike on my channel, and now I can't go live or post. But unlike some of these degenerate ass people, I don't need to go live on YouTube. I don't need to post content on YouTube. I have my own site. And this is where I'm gonna bring that back to the forefront. 3 years ago, I told these people ways they can maneuver so that we can dominate this internet. But what you see over and over is people conveniently finding time to beef with one another, take the focus off of the actual fight, and everybody's sitting here wondering why half the people supporting R. Kelly can't even tell you what the hell he was convicted of. Can't even tell you the majority of the shit that you seen some of these so-called supporters acting out was pretty much detailed in these indictments, as I have said. Problem is, as I said in the beginning, I wasn't trying to point out no individual people, name drop or none of that, just to say that all I see is suspect ass behavior. So when you see people's images and some of their lives and some of the things that they participated popping up in my content, you know, it's okay to ask questions instead of running over to somebody else's channel and implicating or implying what you think the content revolves around instead of missing the whole point in the picture. But let's get to this content so we can figure out, what did Prima Donna do to harass and intimidate? Because my first strike on this channel came from Cash Howard. And the reason why you see certain people coming up more frequently on my other channel is because, like I said, I watch all these people align themselves with these individuals. When you bring it back to the forefront, for some strange reason, everybody else want to get amnesia, when at the end of the day, some of these people talk to Homeland Security. But for some strange reason, all these people on the internet just want to focus on bloggers. We don't want to talk to the people who possibly said certain statements to corroborate certain statements by these Jane Does. Like, for example, one thing that caught me off guard in the beginning was when one of the Jane Does allegedly said that somebody from the entourage met with them and told them basically to pick a side. Now, if you recall that, this is what's going on these YouTube streets. You either got to pick this side or pick that side, and people wondering why people are walking away from this whole situation. At the end of the day, I challenge everybody to read the paperwork themselves. That way, my content specifically would make more sense. If you have any questions about my content, like I said, I'm the person to ask, not this blogger who I don't fuck with, not this blogger who slick got an attitude because they want some credit for sitting out here looking like a dumbass for 3 fucking years in everybody's shadow. You know what? I'm going to put that to the side. Let's get to this content, because really I'm bothered that, again, I listen to all these dumbasses say stupid shit like people just doing this for Cash App and this, and that. As you see, I'm getting on here pretty late, and I could be in the bed because My time is valuable, but I volunteer it so that I could get everybody who is at least following me on the same page. What other people do, I can't control that. But we're going to figure this out today. I don't even think I got any mods over here. I got to fix that. So anyways, like I said, I don't have to post not one video on YouTube. I have my own site, and I learned a couple things from none other than Tasha K. I could put whatever I want on Patreon. I could put whatever I want on my site because clearly YouTube is complicit to a lot of bullying and harassment on their platform, but want to silence and censor the people who really are speaking the truth. Hello and welcome to my channel. Go ahead, hit the like, hit the share, subscribe if you haven't already. Now I see a lot of people talking about these attorneys that are withdrawing from R. Kelly's case, but they're not talking about all the corruption, all the bullcrap we've seen playing out on social media, or the corruption and individuals lining themselves up to be next to
this man and or his associates
in order to fulfill their agendas. Now let's back up for just a second. Let's break this shit down because these people slow as hell. Let's break it down. Now, I've been telling y'all for the longest, I have watched these individuals infiltrating this man's circle, this man's defense team, this man's support team. So with that being said, everything that I was showing you and the reason why me and other bloggers fell out is because they can't just bring me bullshit and think I'm going to get on my platform and recycle the shit when I do my own research. Even the people who have sent me things in the past have got to have common sense to know that obviously I validate information. I try to make it align with information that other people can validate. And then I try to make it sense to give you reasonable doubt as to why people should not be so gung-ho in thinking where there's smoke, there's fire. But instead, all these goofy motherfuckers just popped out the woodworks and started feeding into the narrative. And number one that caught my attention was not only the infamous tape, but the Aaliyah marriage thing. So as I separated myself from certain individuals, you would see them come to the internet and make it seem like I'm automatically saying that all of these people grouped together work for a certain individual. I never said that, never implied that. But what I do clearly say is these people that are cheerleading for him cannot support Robert Kelly, considering Robert Kelly was convicted for some of the things he got on this platform and admitted to. Doesn't take a genius to recognize that, and even a basic skim through the first couple indictments would have gave you that information. But instead, people got into this whole thing trying to beef and I guess discredit the next person that they didn't give a fuck how dumb they were looking to people who had common sense. But let's skip on. You've seen people going back and forth with the attorneys. You've seen even Tasha K coming out talking about Greenberg had some publishing rights and all that. So mind you, let's put a side note. I already told people that I personally cannot say anything about his defense because I did not hire them. I would not bash his defense, but Anybody with any common sense would have known there was some red flags from the moment Steve Greenberg validated this alleged marriage with Aaliyah. So then you have all these low budget ass 007 agents coming out trying to get some secret information when you could have just read all these people's books, read the paperwork that was in Pacer as far as these lawsuits they like to refer to, and started from there.
But they're not talking about all the corruption, all the bullcrap we've seen.
Now, then you got other people that sit up and watch my content. They'll take this little piece over here and that piece over here is correct, but they got to go out their way to discredit this piece over here. Like, make this shit make sense. And I'm supposed to go back and forth when, again, if you read the paperwork, you would see how the government is making their case using associates of Robert Kelly. Now, does that mean he was really associates of these people? Not necessarily. So what did I do? Separated these individuals from Robert Kelly. What did these people on the internet do? Keep cramming this Don Russell character down your throat, who introduced other individuals who obviously showed up in the paperwork, who then ended up pleading guilty. And what did you see happen? The news reporting it as R. Kelly's associates, and people still not comprehending how he's convicted of this RICO and the only one incarcerated at the moment.
Scene playing out on social media, or the corruption and individuals lining themselves up to be next to this man and or his associates in order to fulfill their agendas. It's no surprise how the government will use associates in order to reel in the big fish they're really targeting. Just like we see these Jane Does lining themselves up with whatever trend is in motion to keep their visibility. Meanwhile, people continue to ignore the bad behaviors and other red flags that pop up.
Let me pause this for the slow people. It's going to come through and be like, why she got them pictures on there? Pay attention. The same way the government try to spin this associate bullshit and make up this RICO, how come the same thing can't be applied for all them people that stayed in this man's house, all these people that work with him, especially in 2018, all these people who are associates to other artists that are doing the same things? Like, make this shit make sense. But these ain't the talking points people want to get on here and challenge the government. Instead, people were activated to come on these sites and patronize the government. Make that shit make sense.
And show you the intent of these individuals who will later attach themselves to this Me Too movement. Usually when you think of government witnesses, you don't think they'll be all on social media intentionally trying to provoke a reaction out of people, just like you don't see these people highlighting the character of these Jane Does without trying to convince you you're victim shaming, when if you can't evaluate the personalities, the personas that are giving you these stories, a lot of people should just fall back and wait until the process is complete.
Pause. Now, as you can see, even with this latest scandal with Kanye West and his little girlfriend, they're basically saying it's a publicity stunt. So when I come out here and say that, hell, when I remember the R. Kelly and Aaliyah situation, I thought it was a publicity stunt. And then when I start coming across all the janky ass information, the janky ass witnesses they were intending to use, it was clear as day they could not prove a real marriage happened. But what did they do? They needed these janky ass informants to make their case. The same way I told you they were using these witnesses as bad act witnesses because they don't have the evidence. Where are those 100 devices? Where is all that shit they wheeled in them carts? Where is it?
Now, it also came notice that R. Kelly's attorney, Bonjean, filed a motion in which she included that she needed an extension for her appeal because Robert Kelly has contracted COVID. However, if you look at other people's reporting, they have put the message out there that this man is done. He's not getting out, and that's what a lot of people would run with.
And what's crazy is I just saw Tom Joyner post, and if y'all know Tom Joyner, he was cool with R. Kelly at one point. He was also cool, or what it appeared to be cool, with the Mayweather twins, one of them who testified, right? So again, when you got all these affiliations within this whole network and people want to pick and choose what they want to run with, that is what's crazy. But what I wanted to also bring to your attention was, if you remember, when Greenberg withdrew from the New York case, there was a power of attorney at play. Now, another person came on these platforms and got the name dropping this person because they got the music and this person has the power of attorney. So put two and two together. Obviously, we're trying to make something happen, right? But anyways, looking at this new motion that comes out, it's kind of strange from what's being reported when Tom Joyner points out that he's unable to speak. They said Robert Kelly has contracted the C-19 and is unable to speak. My thing is, where have y'all heard anybody saying this virus has left them unable to speak? Like, that don't sound like no C-19. That makes you like, the first thing that came to my mind was, how they know this man ain't had a stroke? What do you mean he can't speak? But at the end of the day, that could be a misinterpretation as well. As we clearly see, a lot of these mainstream platforms don't read the paperwork. They don't read the information that could be readily pulled out to validate their stories. They just run with what other people tell them. So with that being said, what he could have interpreted as R. Kelly could not speak was the fact that he hasn't been able to speak with his attorney. Now, this is the second time this has been brought to the public's attention, that this man's life is on the line with this case. He's facing life. Now, he's already had to deal with the fact that they went for 3 years on this Mute R. Kelly run, demanding he be canceled, demanding he be muted, corrupting potential jurors. They went through all this. So now we're going to make it difficult for him to be in contact with the attorneys he does have. On top of that, we got all these dumbass motherfuckers on the internet keep interfering, keep wanting to get a attorneys this, give them that. But obviously, they didn't submit shit. And the icing on the cake is, like I said 3 years ago, some of them charges in New York should have been thrown the fuck out from jump. That's going to be the first thing you're going to start looking at shit to get knocked off. But the fact that none of that shit was challenged, that was another red flag. But again, I sat here and did my part, brought y'all the information. Watch the low budget ass motherfuckers on the internet act like they working, but little do y'all know they working all right, but it ain't for R. Kelly. The fuck?
Me, on the other hand, I like to wait till the paperwork drops instead of relying on janky ass sources feeding me bullshit. Okay?
The receipts are checking out. But if all the receipts are checking out, then I'm going to say, no, we can get back. And you know we get back. And you know I get the bag. So get the bag. I took down the video that I did on
Check out the wrist.
these so-called enablers.
Already lit.
Got niggas on wait. Got bitches on low. Got per by the pound. So you know we gon' blow. She throwin' pussy, so I'm throwing money. Niggas over there, she put it on her. Never met her come to VIP, nigga looking like he wanna run up on me. Just in case 100 on me. Wanna call and that's 100 homies. One of the bitches up the phone, to the women in the whole party that.
Let me just pause right there for the slow people, because I know y'all. Oh, I just know y'all gonna come. I know you is. Okay. So when you hear clips like that, that don't necessarily mean I believe the people who's speaking 100%. What it means is I'm giving you the opportunity to hear some of the shit that I've heard that has given me reasonable doubt. So if early on I told y'all that I had a pretty good idea of where some of these sources came from, if I told you that some of these sources tried to put some of their narratives on my platform, if I told you some of these people wanted me to interview certain individuals, that should let you know that I'm not dealing with this inner circle or none of these associates. I can give my story, my perspective without these inside sources. Because let's think about it. With all these people, with all these inside sources, why does it take certain people coming out with certain information for y'all to get it? Make it make sense. People sit on their goddamn live every fucking day, but can't give you no valuable, can't give you no productive, no proactive information. Like, for example, I cannot for the life of me understand why all these people worried about what Prima Donna says or said when you should be worried about what the fuck Kim Fox says, especially if you in Chicago. It's some complaints that could be filed. All these janky ass attorneys I've brought to you, there could be some complaints. I said off the jump, I'm not on the legal aspect. I know how to use my common sense. So with that being said, when I notice a shift from people being proactive, supporting Robert Kelly, that's when I realized I'm not fucking with everybody. At one point, I had no problem watching people do the interviews until, like I said, some of these interviews I began to see turn left. And other people were utilizing those interviews to fish for information. Then you have people giving court updates. So why would I give court updates if other people were giving court updates? Unless I notice the people giving court updates are lying or misrepresenting information. So with that being said, it's a whole lot of gray area when it comes to this blogging. But thus far, who's seen bullying and harassing in this video? Drop it in the comments, because I'm perplexed at what was bullying and harassing about this video. But you can pull up thousands of videos of people calling this man a predator, a pedophile, the Beehive, all this derogatory bullshit. That ain't bullying and harassing. But this damn video is harassing who?
And you know we get the bag. No bullshit, we really get the bag. Pull up on the phone, on the pop tag. When Lily was a young boy, I thought I was getting the cat.
Let's run this back. How many times have I implicated to you that the people that want to put all the focus on people like Dana J missed the clear signs that there was a network formed before a Dana J? So let's just remove Dana J out the equation. And I done already broke this down before, but this is just how dumb these fucking people is. And you can go back and look at the video and the blog post where it says Dana J must answer the tough questions. And I set it up the way I did because, again, when I do that, it's because I noticed the back and forth. I ain't involved in the back and forth, but I'm clearly showing you the focus is not on the right people. These people, new people, kept implanting people within this man's circle, and that's how this whole cycle kept going. That was clear as day to me. So I didn't agree with fans going to see Robert Kelly, but who the fuck am I to be on the internet bashing like that's dumb, y'all shouldn't do that? Like, it don't make no sense. But anyways, as you can see, Demetrius Smith, I saw him align himself with Rocky Bibbins. This was back in 2015. Mind you, excuse me, I don't like talking this much long, but Demetrius Smith, he lined himself up with Rocky Bibbins. If you remember 2018, the BBC interview where you first were introduced to who? The Savages. And you seen her crazy ass in the bathroom hollering and screaming and all that bullshit. So we're going to put that to the side. You had the BBC interview. You had Rocky Bibbins talking about he was at this alleged marriage certificate. And then all of a sudden, you got Demetrius Smith popping out the woodwork. It's mighty fucking convenient. I'm just saying. Run it back. Run it back. Now, I'm clearly showing you why everybody over here on the internet focused on the bloggers and shit. Some of y'all can be pulling some of these documents from Pacer about Sony. Because like I said, when I came out here, it made no sense for these people to be running up to Sony talking about mute R. Kelly, drop him. You're saying that this company was complicit to alleged crimes, but you don't have a problem with this company. You just have a problem with him. So even though this company allegedly settled all these lawsuits with these underage girls, allegedly, you don't have a problem with them. You don't mind them keep making money. You just want them to drop R. Kelly. But we're going to also bypass all the other lawsuits against this corporation that also has implicated them in sex trafficking, in mind control, in a whole lot of shit that I have mentioned multiple times for a reason. Let's figure this out. This chick right here, she say, now we already see conflict of interest with this prosecutor. From number one, she said she was in the office in 2008, right? So that means she's familiar with the first trial. Okay. So according to Geronda Pace, she went to Cook County prosecutors to file charges. She gave them her evidence. They gave her the evidence back, apparently, because she resubmitted that same evidence in the 2018 episode. So why would Kim Fox come forward if everybody in Chicago knows this man is preying on young kids, young girls, but she need these people to come forward? They need these people help. But last time I checked, criminal complaints is what starts an investigation, right? So why do you need to get on the TV and solicit these victims, but everybody knew they all over the place? According to Jim Derogatis, there ain't a street corner you can't go around without finding an alleged victim. But where the fuck they at right now? Where they at? And then you got these other accusers talking about he did this and did that to me when I was a child. But why is they stalking his daughter? Why? Explain this shit. If somebody abused me as a child, you think I'm going to be on the internet stalking that person's child? The fuck? Who missed me 3 years ago tell y'all why I don't subscribe to the Team Truth bullshit? How many missed me tell y'all? Number one, these fathers, they were a red flag to me. As a woman who didn't grow up with a father, their behavior was suspect in a mug. Suspect. So when they got the mouthpiece over here speaking for Angelo, I clearly told y'all that he's giving us Angelo's stories and the people Angelo's bringing to him. Doesn't make it true. So again, when you hear audio from this individual and another dumb motherfucker want to get on their platform and try to discredit it, like I said, it's 100% factual, pay attention. It just shows why they are not credible. Okay? Okay. The fuck?
I'm gonna tell 100 to me and no finesse. Check the gas in the club. And my neck white coat, BBS. White coat with the paddock on, crystal light milk. Get the bag, no help myself. I'ma buy everything on the shelf. Now we in Dubai with the water like Phelps.
Lie number 2. Didn't Pimp Low tell Choke No Joke that his daughter used to wear baggy clothes? Huh? Didn't he say that? Did he say that? Well, I guess she didn't get the memo. Because if you go back through my old playlist of Azriel, you would notice I gave you 3 separate videos. One was a full timeline of her social media accounts. And you can look at the way she was dressed. You can look at the things she was posting. And you can tell me what they look like to you. And why these parents were suspect to me. And why I don't believe necessarily Azriel was with Robert Kelly. I don't care if she got a plane ticket and did this. That don't mean shit.
You quiet, don't tell me. Yo, nigga, up my world. This ain't that my club. I feel like this my year. Speak for the million on my ear.
How many of y'all knew that Azriel B was in those chats before she flipped? Now I came out here and let it be known. Even verified the fact that she was in Dr. Rogers' chat. So again, when these people came out here pushing that precedence, I knew it was some janky ass shit. I said I don't trust it, and I left it at that. But guess what? A lot of these people ended up crossing each other with these deals they have behind the scenes. So apparently whatever deal they had with this documentary guy, Shabazz, went left. The point is, clearly, if Robert Kelly knew this man, why would Joycelyn have a problem with the man being in the Trump Towers apartment? Why were they fighting in the first place? The whole fight started about this man being in here, but I'm supposed to believe R. Kelly knows this man because that's the narrative they fed to justify them working on this little fake ass docuseries.
I'ma get the bag out of here. I'ma hit your bitch from the rear. I'm up in the cool with the kids. Riding the race with the shield.
The lady sitting over here crying, oh, I didn't interfere with nothing. Yes, the fuck you did. All y'all had to do was like I do. I don't involve myself in these debates and none of this shit these people got going on. I just sit there and watch it all play out, run it back in a video for y'all, and give you my perception. Now, when it comes to being moderators for alleged victims, bringing uncharged acts on my platform, showing my nipples to motherfucking informants, all this extra shit to get some information, y'all must have missed when I said that from the beginning, because I find it very hypocrisy filled that those old broads had the nerve to be out here showing nipples to get information, but over here cheerleading these dumbass little boys, bringing up all my photos, trying to make them into a derogatory bashing session, when at the end of the day, why get on your platform and try to berate and belittle a person because I catch you in your scam? The $1 Million Initiative was the problem with me and quite a few people. So if I'm not going to get on my platform and campaign for the defense fund, I wasn't going to get on my platform and talk about the $1 Million Initiative. But as supporters, you have to understand, if people keep hearing this talk about this fund over here, eventually it's going to come back to the next person. Now, I could say no comment, but I'm going to give my honest opinion on it. It all was suspect as hell to me, just like a lot of other stuff, which I haven't spoke on, but it is what it is. False police reports. They had it all planned out, if you ask me. And when I played Tasha K's clip, it became clear that people were showing her alleged text message between R. Kelly and Joycelyn. So that could have been the straw, the last straw for Azriel. Who knows? But either way it go, I'm showing you how people were pushing buttons to get this girl to cooperate, because I told you long before it was revealed she was in the indictment, even when her lying ass daddy got on these platforms acting like she wasn't. Run this back. I just want y'all to see this, because these stupid ass people on the internet, they get mad at folks, and when the first thing they do is they get to sending out information about other people, and then they want to get on the internet and play dumb. Oh, Dana J said this to the prosecutors about Don. Nah, motherfuckers, y'all handed Don over. Tell the truth. You can clearly see that certain people were not affiliated with this Don character. Why? Because he's no fucking body. He had no relevance to somebody like me. So with that being said, when these people keep getting on these platforms, cheerleading for them, they the ones making an ass out of themselves, especially when they want to start putting words in my mouth, saying that I'm saying that they work for him. Why the fuck would I say y'all work for him when I just said that y'all the ones who provided a lot of the shit that told me that he's a little janky? Now, what he was doing on the janky side, that's his prerogative. Don't really care. A lot of people think that he was portraying to be R. Kelly. I even got a screenshot in my phone right now of an email address in which somebody's still in these fan groups, still acting like this man, still talking about they got an email address to email him, and nobody come out here and say this, when I know a lot of these fake ass bloggers are in these groups watching the same shit that I be watching. The fuck?
I ain't playing no motherfucking games with you, boy. I gave you 120 hours to get back in touch with me, nigga. But fuck them 120 hours, nigga. You talking about my daughter. You know you supposed to be working with her music, R. Kelly. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Robert R. Kelly, sick of you bitch ass nigga.
So Did I have to show Mr. Tim Savage any nipples or anything crazy to get the inside scoop and realize that he a whole fucking fraud? No. I just used the type of shit that he put out there, show y'all the type of character of this man, so that y'all can see that a lot of people with that, where is smoke, there's fire, they gonna be in for a rude awakening once they get to the real truth.
I got you, boy. Yeah, come fuck with me. This Savage, Tim Savage. Fuck.
All this fraud right here. And for the last 3 years, all these people just want to keep talking about a defense fund that was being monitored by the federal government, but you can guarantee wasn't no federal government monitoring none of these janky ass bank accounts, GoFundMe's, little cards they were getting sent, all this fraudulent shit that I saw going down in these fan groups that don't nobody else see apparently, but always watching my motherfucking videos so they can fucking flag them.
Fuck you, nigga.
I'll kill it by now. You should know that you should come see me. You know who I am. You know who you have at your house. My daughter, Jocelyn Savage. My name is Tim Savage.
Listen, bro. The call, listen, bro. The man
Now, y'all heard what he said. That was Larry who said, the man dealt with him in my living room. The man who is Angelo dealt with Don Russell in his living room. Never said he dealt with R. Kelly. As I told you before, I don't think R. Kelly had nothing to do with this guy. He claimed he didn't come in until Surviving R. Kelly. And if you ask me, they were in communication with associates. Okay, let it ring in. Associates who were more concerned with protecting whatever they got going on than shutting down these lies. But they could flag my video though. The fuck?
All of this, you're going to see this in future testimony, but Azrael knows where everything is. When I say the tape, she knows who's who, she knows where the bank accounts are, where the money is. She knows who's using who. I've seen what we've been trying to show you that you've been brainwashed. But once she watched that documentary and she read the emails that I sent over to her, that he was sending to Joycelyn, telling Joycelyn the same thing that he told her. Hiding other tapes for Azrael, just like London on the Tracks Mom was doing. Cheryl, I forgot her last name, Cheryl Mack.
That sounds like another crime. She say other people were hiding tapes. So you got the Jim Goddess guy over here getting alleged child porn in his mail a year after Barry Hankerson gets fired. And then people don't see how this all lines up and how there's a continuous rotation of scorned people who got fired or who had an issue feeling like they're owed something are the people behind these stories. And people like Tasha K were fed these narratives because people like Jim Goddess don't want that smoke. But what people should do is apply that pressure, because all these motherfucking people are janky as fuck.
Or whatever. And so I'm trying to tell you without telling you too much. Because like I said, this is a federal case. And I've even helped out the feds with all the information that I've been given. So I was working with the Department of State, Homeland Security, one of them damn things. Homeland Security. My lawyers were to hand them over everything that we had received.
Pause. Hold on. Let's go back for a second, because it's another thing. These people get on these platforms and tell you shit that don't make no sense. So I guess every single person that has spoke and verified this defense fund is a liar, except for these people who've been blatantly lying in your face. So even when Steve Greenberg acknowledges that he has funds from the defense fund that they were waiting to transfer to an account for Nicole Becker, that should have nipped it in the bud. But you know what? They don't want to come out here and talk about, as I mentioned, how all these fake ass bloggers made their way into the defense circle. So they went from tearing down Doug to shooting their shot at Greenberg to shooting their shot at Nicole. And then we seen the rest play out. But at the end of the day, I told you, it made no sense. They were sitting over here plotting for $3 million for Nicole. Meanwhile, at this, what you call it? They just had a hearing. I mean, the hearing they had, conflict of interest. When they had the conflict of interest hearing, the main emphasis was Nicole and her interaction with those girls. And a lot of people didn't start thinking about, well, what other communication, what else could be going on in the background, or what could be going on to give the appearance that Nicole is more active with these girls. Because I could pull out the text messages from the individuals who were desperately plotting on this defense fund with Nicole. These other individuals who claim to be doing fundraisers to send money to Nicole. But somehow it never made it to Nicole. Nicole never started a bank account to transfer the money from the defense fund or money that Steve Greenberg had. But to really be honest, Nicole never publicly said she was collecting money, nor that she would be setting up a bank account. But if you ask me, this was some more bullshit other people were cooking up in order for them to keep their little bullshit ass scams running. Just my opinion.
To hand them over everything that we had received.
This Valentine's Day, I will be open for business, and I am now taking pre-orders if you'd like to create
Okay. So that was the video. What did I do to harass and or bully somebody? Hold on, did my audio just go out? Can y'all still hear me? Okay, I can still hear me. So, what did I do in that video that was bullying and harassing? Or do y'all think, just like I've been telling y'all, when people see my content, they automatically get to assuming certain things instead of just asking me what I think? If you hadn't peeped game with me, I spend less time trying to convince people what I think, how I feel, or anything of that magnitude. What I do is visually put together the things that I see. Now, for some people, they can't comprehend. When you have a creative mind, such as myself, when you have people like R. Kelly who are very creative, some things may be odd to other people. Some things we do may not be received the way we mean to put it out. So with that being said, a line of communication will go a long way than assuming and making an ass out of yourself. I've never said I'm part of no defense fund. Them other stupid ass motherfucking people come out here trying to act like they doing all this work for the defense, but didn't none of this shit show up in court. So when I stand to the left and just watch everything go off, because if you remember those that been following me, a lot of these people took offense to me not being a fan per se. They didn't realize that as a non-biased person coming in talking about the subject, I got to experience something in a different level. I got to look at this propaganda piece, research the piece, and see for myself inconsistencies. Nothing nobody could tell me could change the things that I was researching and finding. So the more people would gravitate toward me, some trying to feed me misinformation and some feeding into the narratives while still expecting me to believe they're supporters. So then when you see them teaming up to come against me, for some strange reason, they don't comprehend. That don't do nothing but motivate me. Because unlike them, I don't need YouTube. I'm still in YouTube jail. I can't post on my main page for a week because somebody reported the video that I just showed for you. So, this is what I did. I re-uploaded it. I made it public on my Patreon. And I put it on my website. And that's how I'm going to start moving. Because like I said, we have the power to dominate this internet if we use our resources constructively. We don't have time to keep going back and forth with these slow people. And I don't mind catching people with genuine interest up to speed if they've gotten lost. Okay, let's get that clear. When people start getting defensive when you want to verify their information, they lying. Period. Challenge me. Anything that I'll put out there, I dare you to challenge me. Don't just come on your platform and say nothing crazy. Back it up with whatever you have to validate your suspicion. Otherwise, just know ain't no need in you worrying about what I think. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not an attorney. I'm not affiliated with none of these people. And clearly, I don't give a shit who does and who don't like me. Period. Now, if there's any questions, you could drop them below. If not, I'm going to get off here because as you can hear, my voice getting a little hoarse. But it just really bothered me that somebody reported my video. And then I look on social media and I see how the mainstream media is portraying the same story. So I'm like, see, people wonder why there's no solid support team. Like, people can keep noting this R. Kelly sector all day long, but what is the R. Kelly sector producing other than beefs? Like, I'm not finna be going back and forth with no degenerate ass people who can't fucking spell. But at the end of the day, this man got millions of fans. It should be every day. Free R. Kelly. Every day. We demand justice. Every day. Where is the cult? I don't give a damn who listens to my content. Fuck my content. Every day. Charge Kim Fox. Every day. Vindicate R. Kelly. The fuck? It's simple. TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, all these platforms. We could utilize that. Now, I also extend the olive branch yet again. I want to include other people's content on my website, freerkelly.info, because, like I said, when I first started blogging, I had no problem supporting genuine supporters. I have a problem supporting people who are so dumb they don't know you don't commit crimes on public platforms and then keep praying and praying like that's gonna change something. It's not. We see you, boo. Okay? So, if you're a content creator, if you want to be a content creator, like I've offered these other degenerate people in the past, I got so much content in multiple phones that I haven't had time to do nothing with. So it's nothing for me to pass content to somebody else. It's nothing for me to work with individuals. But then when you get to talking about, let me call you and do this, and then you just want to keep blowing up my phone and shit, all hell to the no. Pump your brakes. I don't work like that. Okay? So, with that being said, I'm going to drop my email in the community tab on here. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to this channel. Like I said, my other channel is under suspension for a week. So if I do drop some more content within this week, I'll put it over here and my website. Other than that, y'all have a good night. I appreciate y'all for taking the time to come hear me out. Shout out to everybody in the chat. And don't forget, every day, free R. Kelly. Every day, vindicate R. Kelly. I can't be the only one out here stomping the internet pavements, you know? You got to work with me. Y'all have a good night, though.